Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Sean, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Alchemaster's Apprentice by Walter Moers. I have reviewed several Walter Moers books on this channel. Moers is a brilliant German writer and illustrator. The books I've reviewed are, I did a video 3 by Moers, which is the 13.5 Lives of Captain Bluebear, Rumo, and The City of Dreaming Books. Those 3 books. My favorite being The City of Dreaming Books. That's my favorite book of all time. I did another video reviewing this book down here, A Wild Ride Through the Night, which is a single title book by Moers, which I really liked as well. So if you've never heard of or read Moers before, his Zamonia books are filled with peculiar creatures and wonderful creatures, and it's just this really imaginative world he created. And along the way in each book he has illustrations, which he's done, of these characters, and they're all really cool looking. So I love his drawings, and he incorporates those into the story. So what to say about this book? From the very start, about the second or third paragraph, I thought I would really like this. The book begins with saying that imagine a city that is basically like full of sickness and disease, and everyone there is just obsessed with disease. In The City of Dreaming Books, he has this city book home, which is entirely based around books. So this book, it looked like it was going to begin with everything in the city is built around people thinking or being diseased. They're just obsessed with it. And so I was really hopeful about that. I thought that could be a really entertaining world to explore. But unfortunately, after that few opening paragraphs, it wasn't really brought up ever again, which was disappointing because I was kind of hoping the whole book would kind of be like that. Just like City of Dreaming Books was all about books, I was kind of hoping this city would just be all about disease, people obsessed with disease. That would have been funny, but the book never went that way. The book was more just about food, which, if you like books about food, you'll like this, but it's not really your typical food, like just making pancakes and whatever. The food in this book is all really peculiar, as only Walter Moers could do. One thing I like about Walter Moers' books is the way he uses humor. His books are pretty funny. And there was a character in here that was just typical Walter Moers that I loved. And basically the character was like kind of dyslexic. So what he would do is he would mix up his letters and his words. So it's just really entertaining. And what's kind of funny is I kind of have an undiagnosed dyslexia issue myself. So it's actually kind of funny that I could read this character's dialogue pretty much fine, because in my head I was scrambling the letters anyway. And when he speaks, he scrambles his letters as well. And Moers shows that in the dialogue. So the words are all scrambled around. But because I'm kind of dyslexic, I could read it fine, like it was normal to me reading it. So that was really fun, and I really liked that character. That would be one of my more favorite characters Moers has written. So again, that was also good about this book. Now, something about Moers, every book of his that I've read, I've found them to be very draining. I don't quite know what it is, but Moers' writing saps me of energy. So reading like one page of his books is like reading 10 or 15 pages from another author. For books like 13.5 Lives of Captain Bluebear and The City of Dreaming Books, where I'm invested in the plot and I'm invested in the characters, I can stomach this more. But in the case of Rumo, and unfortunately in the case of The Alchemaster's Apprentice, I was just tired of it. It's just taking forever for something to happen. And things are happening. I mean, each scene something bizarre or strange or wonderful does happen. But it's not really connected to a main plot, really. It just seems like it's episodes, but the book is, as a whole, is not going anywhere. That was kind of my problem with The Alchemaster's Apprentice. So each scene on its own was okay, But as a whole, I was just tired of the book. I was tired of just nothing really happening, nothing major changing. What is the main like quest of this book? It's not really clear. It's just all these different chapters, all these different scenes of things happening, different like cooking scenes or different creature scenes or different lore or world building. But the book's not really going anywhere. I'm just tired of nothing happening, basically. And that was the problem with this book. So about 50% in, I was just so tired of the book. I felt if I would have continued this book anymore, the rating would have plummeted because I was just liking the book less and less as it was going. So basically, it had the potential to be great. There was some of the humor that I loved, some of the world building, the characters, the wonderful creatures and all that. That was all there, as well as some of the humor, like the character who mixes the letters around and everything. I like that. So it was more similar, I think, to these other books I like, 13 and a Half Lives of Captain Bluebear and City of Dreaming books. It was more that than Rumo, but in terms of plot, it was more Rumo than Bluebear or City of Dreaming books. So in the end, I'm going to give it 3 stars, which basically means it has definitely had potential. I liked parts of it. I would still recommend it, but mainly I would recommend Bluebear and City of Dreaming books. Those are the 2 books I really loved. I have talked with fans of Walter Moers who did like Rumo, so I think it's kind of just your own particular taste. So you may like this book as well. And plus the book, the main character is a cat. So there is lots of drawings in this book of the cat. So that's naturally something that's pretty cool. Rumo, the main character, is basically like a dog-like creature. So lots of drawings of dogs. So cats and dogs for both of those books, really cool. And so from that standpoint, I would still recommend reading it. But in terms of like what I would really say, hey, you've got to try this book, I would mainly recommend Bluebear and City of Dreaming books. As well as A Wild Ride Through the Night. I did really enjoy this book, and it's a real short read, so it's definitely worth reading. In a way, I think this book gives you a good clue of what Walter Moers' books are like. So if you kind of want to just try him out, you may want to just try A Wild Ride Through the Night, but still, mainly Bluebear and City of Dreaming books. Those are 2 excellent books I would recommend to anyone, to everyone. The Alchemaster's Apprentice, I'm sorry, I didn't really like it. It wasn't the worst book. Undoubtedly, the best is City of Dreaming books. Second would be Bluebear. Third would be, I guess, A Wild Ride Through the Night. Fourth would be The Alchemaster's Apprentice. And then last would be Rumo. So after this, the only Walter Moers book left in English that I have to read is The Labyrinth of Dreaming books, which is the sequel to the City of Dreaming books, which I think is the best book ever written. Why have I been so reluctant to read The Labyrinth of Dreaming books? I think I'm just nervous because this is the best book ever written, City of Dreaming books. So how can Walter Moers possibly top or match that book? I'm thinking the only thing it could be would be a disappointment. But I will probably put that book, Labyrinth of Dreaming books, on my 23 books to read in 2023 list. So I will definitely read that probably next year. Anyway, I think that is about it. So have you guys read any Walter Moers books before? Let me know. I love to talk about Walter Moers. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.